We just want answers. We want people to speak to us.
This is the mother who feigned grief and victimhood in May, presenting herself as heartbroken and seeking support from the community following the death of her 11-year-old son.
My child wanted to go viral. Unfortunately, this is the way that it had to happen. But he wanted to be a soccer player. Now, recently, again, it went back to soccer. He wanted to be a YouTuber, but his biggest thing was he was going to be a star, and he will remain a star in my life.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to True Crime with Regina. Today we're gonna be looking at the case of Jaden Lee Meek. I really don't like to consume or produce crime that has children involved in it because it generally pulls at my heartstrings, man. I get pretty emotional. But I felt like Jaden Lee Meek's story needs to be told over and over again so that the little boy can get justice. Jaden Lee Meek is an 11-year-old from Vlierhof, the south of Johannesburg, South Africa. He lived with his 31-year-old mother, Tiffany Meek, and attended school at Royal College, which was in Florida, south of Johannesburg. He went missing on the 13th of May, just after 4 p.m. This happened early this year. I remember hearing about this little boy that went missing. My heart broke. And when I heard about the incident around him going missing, it really made me so mad because how can your transport drop you off at your apartment complex? You go in and nobody knows where you ended up. I slept with my heart so sore and feeling bad for the mother.
There is this window which is directly looking at the gate itself. So if you are inside the room, you are able to see anyone who's coming in, and you are able to see anyone who's walking outside this complex. So these are some of the details that really committee members are struggling to get answers on, but also the family representative we spoke to, who has some private security expertise as well, is raising those questions that something is definitely not being done accordingly or correctly as far as securing this particular complex. And of course, as the lady I just spoke to right now also alluded to the fact that there have been some incidents or break-ins at gunpoints happening inside this particular complex.
Jaden's mother, Tiffany Meek, claimed that she got worried after 4 p.m. when he had not arrived home. She was working from home at the time. She and the community started looking for Jaden and they did not find him. They eventually opened a missing persons case at the police station around 7 the very same day.
Yes, we can confirm that the child that was reported missing yesterday, he was found in the early hours of this morning, around about 25 past 6. And he was taken to hospital where he was certified dead on arrival.
Unfortunately, on the 14th of May 2025, a day after he went missing, Jaden's body was found reportedly still warm in the stairwell of his complex. He had multiple bruises. The community of Vlierhof is demanding justice, and they started marching to the Florida police station to pressure authorities into taking swift action. Let's break this down a little bit. So Jaden was found by a neighbor at around 20 past 6 in the morning while they were making their way out of the complex. The mother, Tiffany, was not present because she allegedly went to go sleep at her own mother's place because her mother didn't want her out of her sight. Make that make sense. Wouldn't you want to be where your son might probably come back to if maybe he wandered somewhere? Wouldn't you want to be helping the community throughout the night to look for your son? Because the first 24 hours are the most important. Like this story of her coming back in the AMs, it doesn't make sense because according to the security, it's alleged that she came back in the morning with her mother, and then she said she wanted to take clothes and then left again. Ironically, a few hours later, the body is discovered. An hour and 30 minutes later, to be exact, because she came back to the complex at around past 4. Make it make sense, please.
There's a family currently we're not coping, but we are very grateful to the community for coming out and being really supportive of us. A number of people clearly have stated that they have a problem with the conduct of SAPS Florida Police Station.
Must come and address us. If we have to put the police station to stand, they must come and address us.
We demand a thorough investigation that leads to arrests and convictions. The handling of this case shows so far that SAPs are dragging their feet, and we will not accept this indifference any longer.
We are saying we need to do justice for Jaden. As the SAPS, believe me, we are going to do justice for Jaden.
The family of the 11-year-old who was found dead in Vleerhof, west of Johannesburg, say they need to know what happened to him and why. Yesterday, little Jaden Lee Meek was found in an undressed state on the staircase in Swazi's Place complex. His family saw him in the early hours of the day with multiple bruises and was placed by his family's unit doorstep. They say they're confused as to how they couldn't find him on Tuesday when they started their search when he didn't come back from school.
That does not make sense.
Speculation doesn't bring convictions, and I'm not gonna voice my speculations. But I think we're gonna get a bigger surprise of our lives when we find out who gets arrested for this murder.
On the 14th of July 2025, 2 months after Jaden's body was discovered, his mother Tiffany Meek was arrested and charged with his murder. Like, this was the biggest shocker for me. Like, I could not believe it. From how Tiffany was bawling in front of the press and the next minute accusing SAPS of incompetence. This lady lied with a straight face, left, right, and center, and played victim. Yo.
This mother said, "Don't search my flat." That should have been a tip-off. That should have told them there's something happening in this flat. The fact that Jaden Lee Meek's body was found warm the next morning tells me that he was in that flat, hoping and calling on those that were meant to protect a minor would actually open down and break down those doors. We failed Jaden Lee Meek as a community.
Tiffany's long journey with the courts started with her first bail hearing, which was on the 18th of July 2025, which took forever because evidence had to be taken out so that they can decide whether or not to give her bail. I actually even thought it was the actual trial. She made another brief appearance last week where she said she had been stabbed in prison and does not afford her lawyer anymore. She's now gonna get a public lawyer and is due to appear in court again on the 20th of November 2025. I just hope this trial goes by swiftly so that Jaden can get justice. And Tiffany is pleading innocence, by the way. She's claiming she was framed. Whatever conclusion that the court reaches at the end, I just hope Jaden Lee gets his justice and his soul is able to rest in peace. That's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.